In today's video, we're going to talk about how much does it cost to maintain that airplane. How much does it cost to maintain that airplane? Maintaining that airplane is a big part of that cost factor. You have to know the cost of the airplane that you're buying, okay? You have to know your purpose, your mission. So for me, my mission was I wanted to make sure that I could carry all of my family and luggage on board the airplane. That it was just like no exception to that. I had to do that. So in order for me to do that, I had to look for six-seaters, and I settled on the Cherokee 6 because it was cost-effective. The useful load was way up there, and this airplane is a tank. It's a monster. It's been a very reliable airplane, and the maintenance on it is relatively low in compared to other high-performance airplanes. Okay, so know your mission. If you're going to use it just for work, for business, personal, both. If your family is on board with your decision, or if they're afraid of flying and they want nothing to do with flying, I mean, those are things you really should be considering, okay? Because your family is a big part of this decision. Don't leave them out of your decision, because if you do that, that's probably going to be a big mistake, okay? It's going to lead to arguments and things of that nature. So make sure you have them on board. There's going to be a cost factor of the airplane itself, and I'm not going to go into that because an airplane can cost you from this to that. You know, it all depends on what you're looking for, okay, and your budget. So this airplane, for example, I purchased this airplane about 6 years ago, and back then it was a good time to actually find Cherokee 6s. I found quite a few of them at very reasonable prices, and I settled on this one for $49,000. Okay, you need to consider your hangar storage. You need to consider the cost of insurance. If you want to get a Cherokee 6 high performance airplane with 6 seats, you need to be instrument rated. Most insurance companies will drop you. They will not consider you if you're not instrument rated in one of these airplanes. You may be able to find a few out there that are willing to quote you, such as I believe Avemco is one of them. They'll quote you on it, but expect to pay $3,000 or so a year. For me, I started at around maybe $1,100. I am IFR, so I'm not going to pay as much as not being IFR. But it started around $1,100, and now it's up to around $1,400. So it all depends, okay? So when you're instrument rated, you have a whole lot more options, okay? Then you need to consider, of course, hangar storage, or if you want to park it outside. In Colorado, I don't want to park my airplane outside because not only does it snow, you get a lot of ice. Sometimes it gets brutally cold in the morning. So, you know, starting an airplane might be a hassle. And then in the summertime, you get hail and, you know, weather can get pretty crazy, okay? So I don't want to park mine outside around here. So you can keep it in covered parking all the way up to a hangar. So, and again, I don't want to get into prices because it depends on your area. You should consider oil changes. Oil changes are recommended every 50 hours, but what I do is I change mine every 25 hours. I do an oil change, and then I do an oil and filter change every 50 hours, okay? You only have one engine. You got to pamper. You got to take care of it, okay? So that's how I do it, and I was taught that by an old buddy of mine. So, you know, he always took care of his airplane, and I used to always ask him, why would you change that oil in 25 hours? And that's exactly what he told me. You only have one engine, Raul. So for my oil change, I pay around $125, give or take, you know, depending on where I get my oil and all of that. But if you have a shop do it, expect to pay, I don't know, anywhere from $3, $5, 600, depends on the airplane. The other thing to consider is the fuel cost. So around here, fuel is around $4.59. A round trip to Dallas would cost me about $540. Now here's the cool thing, that whenever I take my family on a flight and I fill up these seats with all of them, it is a lot cheaper to go fly to Dallas, and even Florida for that matter, than it would be if I bought 4 airplane tickets round trip. So that's where you can save a lot of money. The other thing you need to consider yourself with is sudden repairs, okay? So sometimes you have repairs that just all of a suddenly just come about. Something might go bad on you, and all of a sudden you have to replace that part. The other thing is ADs. When ADs come up, they must be inspected, and they're going to charge you more for, checking out those ADs. So it all depends. Every airplane is very different, so make sure that when you buy an airplane, make sure that you check that the ADs are current. So make sure you check ADs. The other thing is, if you're considering purchasing an airplane, make sure you take someone that knows that type of airplane. For example, if you want to buy a Cherokee 6 and you know someone who has a Cherokee 6, then invite that person to go with you, because he knows what to look for, okay? Or better yet, take a mechanic with you. Now, one thing you should do for sure is before you buy it, do a pre-buy inspection with a mechanic, okay, with a certified mechanic, and that way you get a peace of mind, okay. The other thing you want to factor in is the overhaul of the engine and your prop. So you want to factor those things in every single time you fly. This airplane cost me nearly $200, give or take. And I did this years ago, and I know prices always fluctuate, but around $200 an hour to fly this airplane, okay? So make sure you have a budget for all of those things that are going to wear out, like your engine and your prop, okay? And the other thing that you should consider are annuals. So if you have a Cherokee 6 or a PA-32, I'm pretty sure you probably pay $25 or so for an annual. For me, I pay, this year's is $913. The original cost of my annual was $1,200, but then I also did some graphic work for my mechanic, and my graphic work minus the $1,200 comes out to $913. Now that $1,200 rate is because I do an owner's assisted annual. So I like pretty much helping on my annuals because it helps me get familiarized with my airplane. As a matter of fact, now I can pretty much work on this airplane, and then what I can do is give everything to my mechanic, and he looks over it, and he can either approve it or disapprove it, or he can tell me, hey, do this, do that, and I just follow his instructions, and I basically do an owner's assisted annual with him supervising me. And that's a good way to save money. If you can find a good mechanic in your area, do that. Hook up with that mechanic and do owner-assisted annuals. I highly recommend it because you're going to know that airplane inside and out. So guys, don't forget, I'm not just a pilot, I'm also a graphic designer, and I have a lot of these shirts on my website. And these shirts are really cool. I have a lot of great designs. So go in there, support the channel, support me, support the family, and go pick out a shirt, guys. So far, we've had great responses, and I appreciate all of you who have already placed orders, guys. Make sure you spread the word and have people coming to the website and check out the shirts and the merchandise. So anyway, guys, take care, stay safe, and have a great day, and thank you for your support. www.flydirty.com. Go check it out, guys. Have a great day. Take care.